history of Johnson Publishing Company and Michael Jackson and the whole family goes back probably, I'm thinking, 35 years or more.
The last count that I have actually is 27. 27 jet covers, and then he had 15 ebony covers, which is an awful lot.
My father met Michael and the entire Jackson brood when they came to Chicago.
Right after the big records, I Want You Back, Love You Save, and there was a luncheon here for him, hosted by the company founder, Mr. John S. Johnson. Michael, even at that age, he's probably about 12 years old, he was always a loner. We noticed that the brothers sat over there at the luncheon, and he wanted to sit by himself or with Mr. Johnson. When he first met Mr. Johnson, he was very impressed, with him. And as he got older, he wanted Mr. Johnson to be a mentor. He turned out to be one of his key financial advisors. And one thing that Mr. Johnson told him, he said, I wouldn't invest in restaurants or just land. You want something that's not going to change or not be temperamental. So you want something where you're owning the music rights to something, like a catalog. After Mr. Johnson gave him that advice, he bought the Beatles catalog for $47.5 million.
Genius takes a lot of discipline, and that's something that Michael Jackson had. 8 to 10 hours of practice every Sunday.
Tell me about the Sunday ritual.
Well, every Sunday I fast. I don't eat anything. It's just something I decided to do for my body. And I dance every Sunday.
What music do you dance to when you do this?
Mine. Or anything that's got a fast beat to it.
I think that Michael's true genius is that there's nobody else that had the combination of being able to sing and dance and entertain and understand the moment. Motown 25, for me, the first time we got to really see a moonwalk was as crazy as thinking about walking on the moon itself. Is the achievement as big? No. But was the moment as big? Probably bigger.
They said when Michael would rehearse, if you were off, he heard you. He'd walk around and walk over to the individual that messed up that he did not see, but he heard the mess up and heard exactly where in the room they were and knew exactly which move did not go in its right place and fixed it. That's a different type of genius.
His simplicity is what was genius about him in a complex structure. He would say to me, Bearden, when we're doing arrangements and cutting things and all that, they have to be able to hum it. I want people from 8 to 80 to be able to hum my melodies. And he says, well, the thing about my music is even all of the rhythm has to be up loud. My vocals are really rhythmic, and he says, I like to put my backgrounds up high too right there. But he says, but then there's musical elements that I use like vocals, so that he would go. He said, that part is there, and then that's his cousin coming up right there. That's his cousin coming in, so he would go, here's his cousin right there. And he would explain stuff to me like that all the time. And right away, the music would be there. And when I got it right for him, he would just dance. He would just look at me and just go. That was it. He would never go, see, I told you.
A lot of people, they're used to just seeing the outcome of work. They never see the side of the work you go through to produce the outcome.
I just see him getting dressed and then looking at himself in the mirror, and he said, you know what? Is there an opportunity here to do something different? That black cardigan that he wore for the iconic, Motown 25 moment, that came out of his mom's closet. On the stage, you didn't even think about it. It just was, wow, look at that magical cardigan.
And Mike, in his autobiography, out of a 5-star rating, Mike himself said that Motown was about a 4. Imagine that, right? He did the moonwalk perfectly, and he did the 3 spins, and he wanted to freeze on his feet for 3 seconds, and only did 1 second because he didn't get a good grip. So go figure. Michael Jackson's human after all.